Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Student, and welcome to the Academy of Chiropractic's Doctors PI program. Thank you so much for spending your few minutes with me. I know how valuable your time is, and I'm very excited to share this with you. Listen, we're not like everyone else. We're different. We're very, very different than anything you've ever experienced in this profession. First, we're not a get-rich-quick program, and there are a lot of them out there. That's just not us. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick program where there's a magic form, a magic flyer, a magic piece of research, documentation, report, we're not your program. It's not for this. It's just not what we've done. I spent too many decades looking for that get-rich-quick formula. It doesn't exist. We build sustainable platforms to make your competition irrelevant. That's what we do. Not just for the tenure of your time with us, but for the balance of your career. Our entire program is built on your clinical excellence. You don't have to do any technique changes. You don't need any philosophy changes, no EMR changes. Unless your referral sources are running after you, you lose. And when it comes to personal injury, there are only two requirements: clinical excellence and admissibility. Now, regarding clinical excellence, I'm going to pose three clinical questions to you. And I'd love to say don't answer them, it's rhetorical, but you're listening, we're not chatting. Okay, the first question is, what is the difference between a herniated, bulge, protruded, and extruded disc? The second question is, what are the slice thicknesses that the MRI company takes to review patient in the cervical spine? And the last thing is how do you manage a syrinx in the lower lumbar spine? I pose those questions to over 9,000 chiropractors across the country. Not one got it right, yet every neurosurgeon I work with, and I work with hundreds of them, get it right every single time, which explains why lawyers, as a rule, bypasses the chiropractic profession for the medical profession. Because on the witness stand, even though they know we're hardly, if ever, going to get there, we as a profession usually falter with those not-so-tough questions a true spine specialist should know. Now, say you do get to the witness stand, and again, you know you're hardly ever going to get there. But say you do, and the lawyer says, Doc, what are your MRI findings? And the opposing counsel says, Your Honor, I object. This doctor is neither a radiologist nor credentialed in MRI spine. The plaintiff's attorney, the one that brought you there, said, Your Honor, here's the doctor's credentials. The doctor is eminently qualified to opine on MRI. The judge will then allow you to speak. That's what the word admissibility means. Not will the lawyer work with you, but can the lawyer work with you? And the hard rule is lawyers won't start with you unless they can finish with you. What our program is about is four things. Number one, well, not really the historically failed marketing. We're going to give you a little piece of that just to tell you what not to do and what'll fail, but we're going to give that to you. But more importantly, we're going to teach you fully the business of the lawyers and the insurance carriers. Our goal, and it has proven successful, is to prevent you from getting screwed from lawyers and liens and carriers from withholding payments from you. And we have ways using the laws of your state to leverage everyone to pay you a fair and equitable fee on a timely basis. And there are laws for both things, so we're going to teach you how to use those laws. The next thing we're going to do is teach you a lot about documentation. Now, by now, you should have heard a lot about those all-important Colossus algorithms. They are important, critically important, but they are a teeny tiny piece of the puzzle. You must understand it, but they are a small piece of the puzzle. If they were the whole puzzle, then everyone had Colossus-compliant documentation, would have huge practices, and very few people do as a result. In actuality, that was really, even though it's critically important, and there are some great people in the industry doing that, there are some shady people in the industry doing that. If someone told you that's all you need, it's just another get-rich-quick program. But it is critically important. So we're going to share with you how to do that. But more importantly, we're also going to work with compliance. We're going to show you how to have all your documentation. We're going to do a compliance review. We're going to ensure you not only don't survive in a retrospective audit, but how to prevent audits and how to thrive. And when you get to court, to ensure that your narrative is a four corners report. It's a legal term that you cover every part of the case. And we're going to teach you how to do that. The third thing we're going to give you is a lot of clinical training. Not a little, but a lot. And it's interesting, over the last 2 decades, as I've been doing this nationally, and this is all I do, this program, as a result of that, has morphed into a primary spine care program. And I'm going to talk to you a lot about that in a minute. However, the last thing we're going to give you is, once you understand the business of the lawyers and the carriers, the documentation issues, the clinical training, we're going to give you a business strategy. We're not going to give you a marketing plan. Does IBM, Ford, DuPont, Harley Davidson, do they have marketing plans? No. They have a business strategy of which marketing is a part of. And we're going to customize a business strategy for you. Because if you're in practice 2 years, you're going to have a different business strategy than, say, me. I'm in the game almost 40 years. We have to apply different things based upon your experience, your training, and timeline. So we're going to customize a business strategy to you. But this clinical training, where I said we're going to really work on you becoming, with the more this program is evolving, the more we teach clinical excellence and clinical information, we're going to morph you into a primary spine care provider. What does primary spine care mean? That simply means, for spine, you're the first referral option, not just for lawyers, but for primary care medical doctors, medical specialists, urgent cares, and emergency rooms. I mean, the goal is to get them to run after you. That's the goal. And you see, I don't know what's going to resonate in your community. I have no idea. And we've actually built a wider platform for you to garner these referrals. And it's far exceeded our expectations as we've been doing it. And this graphic up here, that we've got almost 1 million referrals into chiropractors in 47 states. And that's not inflammatory. I think that number is way low. And the goal is to get them to run after you. Once you become their solution, it's game over. We know how to do that. We know how to give you the business strategy to position you. Now, how does the program work? First, it's $199 a month. There's a one-time setup fee of $225. If you put in about 15 to 20 minutes a day, it should take you about 6 to 8 weeks to get through it. It's just easy. I mean, if you've been in practice more than a year and a half, 2 years, you don't need any special forms. You don't have to worry about EMRs. You don't have to worry about any of those things. It's just easy. And should you get started with us, here's what we're going to give you. Okay, you get a dashboard. And we're going to give you over 1,000 educational modules to teach you how to build your infrastructure, your CV and credentials, your narratives, office systems and admissibility, how to handle lawyer and MD meetings. We give you a full program, which is part of the business strategy, on marketing. Very robust. We teach you how to do plaintiff IMEs, testifying, IME and peer review bundles, clinical information, diagnosing and triage, practice and documentation compliance, and you get a toolbox. You get a full educational library that's evidence-based. We give you dozens of forms and an educational portal, an audio-video library, narratives done for you. We just give you a tremendous amount of information. And it's all on the dashboard that becomes available to you when you get started with us. Very, very, very easy. Now, we also, in helping you learn, have a rich multimedia experience for you. It's a rich multimedia experience. We have podcasting, educational libraries, a full playbook. We have videos. We want to make this an easy experience for you. A good portion of it you're just going to listen to in your car going back and forth to work. When you're in the gym, when you're walking through the woods or on the beach, just put your headphones on. A podcast, for those of you ancient ones like me, is nothing more than a radio station on your computer. It's very simple. It's just easy. Okay? There are so many different options to learn from, and we make it a lot of fun. Lots and lots and lots. Now, how does the program work? Step one, I do a compliance review with you. I look at all of your intake forms, your E&M, which is your evaluation, your new stuff documentation, SOAP notes, staff office policy, your CV. We review it all. Step two, start listening to the podcast. Read some of the consults. Watch the educational videos. And also consider getting credentials that really are needed, because that's, in order for lawyers to work with you and for your work to be seen in the courts, you have to have credentials. In order for medical doctors to work with you, they have to consider you a peer, and you need credentials. And we build a curriculum for you The educational modules, the postdoctoral stuff, that's not included in this program, but we guide you through everything. And everything we guide you is online. You don't have to go anywhere. Then you implement the program. It's really that easy. And I'll even talk to lawyers with you. I'll talk to medical specialists with you. It's simple. Now, here's the other thing. I've been in this game a long time. And I've been screwed by so many different consultants who say, hey, sign up for a year or two. It's in your best interest. Well, guess what? It's not. It's in their best interest. So there is no contract. Quit whenever you want. If I'm full of it, you just say, see ya. Don't even call me. Just send me an email. But our average doctor stays with us for over 9 years because it works. And here's a statistic. If your take-home pay after taxes is under $100,000, the average doctor's salary increases by 61%. If your take-home is between $100 and $150, the average doctor's salary increases by 50%. And over 150, 25%, and that's a national statistic. Why? Because as we learn more, you learn more. What I'm doing right now is teaching our doctors how to get paid next year. Not this year, next year. It takes months to learn it and understand. Listen, I have clients in 47 states. I've lectured to over 250,000 lawyers in 33 different states. So what I learn in 20 other states is going to affect you. We keep you ahead of the curve. Our average doctor, another statistic, at the 3-month mark, usually averages about 5 new PI cases a month. At the 1 year, about 15 new cases a month. Our best office in the country went from 10 new cases a month to 963 cases a month on average for over a year. He has 5 emergency rooms referring into him, and he can't handle that. He brought in 6 additional doctors to share it, to bring. They still turn away hundreds, probably 500-600 cases a week. They cherry pick. But our worst offices didn't do anything. They got nothing. You do the work, you get the referrals. You get unlimited support. Listen, I rarely get a call, how do I get a new client, a new patient? Rarely. Most of my calls are clinical in nature. I'm a professor of 3 different chiropractic colleges, and I work through 2 medical schools at various different levels in academia. So if you have a question related to spine, you call me. I'll never call you, I swear. I'll never, ever call you. But you can call me 10 times a day. The majority of my calls are clinical in nature, not how I get a new patient. You want me to look at an MRI? I'll jump onto your computer with you. You want to talk triage? You have a question? You always have someone to call. It's my pleasure. Listen, folks. You get unlimited telephone support, unlimited email support, and unlimited technical support. We have a full IT staff working with us. We have full every kind of support you can imagine. Our goal is to hit the easy button for you. Even if you choose not to start with this, if you ever have a practice or clinical question, please call me, and as a colleague, I'll be happy to help you. If it helps chiropractic, I'm all in. Here's my phone number and my email on the bottom. I look forward to working with you. Call me, chit-chat. Listen, just have a great day. Thank you so much for spending this time.